Hey, it's the Terminian Hero here, and it has gotten dark, because apparently this has some sort of screensaver feature, even though we're playing this on the Dreamcast, not the PC. So that's kind of strange. But anyways, yeah, we're playing the Dreamcast version of Rayman 2. The first version that I'm Let's Playing. I'll also be Let's Playing the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and Game Boy Color versions, because they're all significantly different from each other. Anyways. Here we go, that's what I have to press. I have to press B to see the name of the levels. See, we got everything in the Woods of Light. And now we're gonna go to the Fairy Glade. And we can see how much stuff is in the level and how much stuff is in the whole game. So we're gonna have to get 7 cages and 50 lums here. 50 yellow lums. Interesting to note, in this version of the game, the cages that have teensies in them actually count towards the cages, whereas in the PlayStation 1 version, they don't. But anyways, let's head to the Fairy Glade. Anyways, so a lot of areas in the PlayStation 1 version don't actually, like, basically in the PlayStation 1 version a lot of stuff was cut out. Like, for example, in the PlayStation 1 version of the game, this water was super shallow and you couldn't swim in it. And this little cave over here was actually moved to a later part of the level. And here we have blue lums, which give us air. And we also have a cage in here, which I believe had a super yellow lum in it. We didn't really get a good look at it, but those give us 5 yellow lums. They're not very common, I don't think. It didn't look like there was anything else in there. Maybe I should actually pay attention to what Murphy is saying, because I don't think I was swimming right. But anyways, let's try heading up this way. Hurry up, Rayman, we want our daddy back. That's all they say, and we can't get through the door. So how about we try playing some Mario and bouncing on this mushroom? And we get a little success noise and we can climb on this. So yeah, we're climbing across the bottom of this now, but we need to get on top of it. And if we were playing the PlayStation 1 version of the game, we would just bounce on a mushroom over here to get on top. But because we're not playing the game with a bunch of stuff cut out, we actually have a little side area here. Swimming is not advised. And there's piranhas here, and I pressed... Never mind. Here, look, you punch the piranha and his teeth fall out, just like in Rayman 1 and 3. Yeah, if you need energy, collect some red lums. I have already explained this. Yeah, that water down there is actually dangerous, as there was the piranha sign, and as you saw, there are actually piranhas in there, and if you fall in there, you will instantly die. And by die, I mean, you will warp back out of the water and have lost a little bit of health. So here we have a switch, which when we hit it, that opens the door to continue through the level. But we want to stay up here, because there's a yellow lum here. And further down, let's jump over that water, we have a cage. I mentioned how in most versions of this game, cages have yellow lums. See, we slide on the water here. But yeah, in the PlayStation 1 version of the game, instead of rescuing lums, you rescue creatures called Dunnies, Ludvies, and Murphys. And in the PlayStation 2 version of the game, okay, that was a green lum there. That acts as a checkpoint. But yeah, in the PlayStation 2 version of the game, you rescue familiar spirits. At least that's what they're called. They're not really familiar because we've never seen them before. And in the Game Boy Color version of the game, I believe, I actually have a little Word document here with a bunch of differences between versions listed to help me out. In the Game Boy Color version of the game, yes, the Game Boy Color version, you always free teensies from the cages. So over here, we're gonna want to glide over to where that barrel is. This spot is also quite different from the PlayStation 1 version, because in the PlayStation 1 version, you don't go through that cave to leave. Instead, you actually stop this polluting machine from working, and you make it so you can actually swim in the water. And that's where the underwater cave that we saw earlier can be found. It can be found in this bad water once it's turned safe. But anyways, if we just ride this barrel here, we can get some lums, including an important yellow one. And the barrel just takes you back here. Now we can continue on. I don't think I'm gonna be pointing every single time the PlayStation 1 version cut something out, because it happens so often. But I will, you know, mention little notable differences. Yeah, I mentioned that I grew up with the PlayStation 1 version. My friend Alex actually grew up with this version, the Dreamcast version. Oh, but by the way, in most versions of the game, you fight these guys here. In the PlayStation 1 version, you actually fight Dark Toons here, which are exclusive to the PlayStation 1 version, I'm pretty sure. Dark Toons, of course, being enemies from Rayman 1, followers of Mr. Dart. I'll talk more about Rayman 1 in a second. Anyways, yeah, so I didn't miss a cage on the way up here, did I? Or is that only on the PlayStation 1 version? It can be really confusing to keep all the versions straight. Yeah, so anyways, my friend Alex had the Dreamcast version, and at the time I didn't know there were different versions, so he was telling me all about this exclusive content in this version, and I was looking for it on my version, and it was just a pain, just looking around for stuff that didn't exist. My friend Liz also grew up with the Nintendo 64 version. She was never much of a gamer, but that was like one of 3 games I know of that she played as a kid. Oh! Darn it, Piranha. Yeah, she played the Nintendo 64 version of Rayman 2. She played Bomberman 64 and Buck Bumble, so this is pretty neat that this is one of the 3 games she actually played. Anyways, there was a cage in that window back where we came from, but we can't actually get to it from here. So we're just gonna ignore that cage. We actually can't complete this level right now. I think this might be the only level in the game that you can't get everything in it when you first play through it. This area right here actually has a lot of differences between versions. In the PlayStation 2 version, there's not a wall behind you here. Instead, there's a little cliffside and a little path you can go down. Also, the PlayStation 1 and I think PlayStation 2 versions are missing this cave over here. Which, if we go into this cave, what will we find? We'll find a few lums, it looks like. Find some deadly piranhas and some not so deadly frogs on lily pads. Not like those frogs in Spyro 1, those guys are pretty deadly. Here we just got a red lum that spawned a bunch more red lums, and you gotta collect them all before time runs out if you wanna get them all before they disappear. So I guess little mosquitoes do appear in other places in this game. But anyways, we've got a cage up here. And another cage in there that we can't get to yet. Yeah, that was a super yellow lum there. You saw it had a big smiley face on it. Anyways, I mentioned that I would talk a little more about Rayman 1. Between the events of Rayman 1 and Rayman 2, Rayman was actually found on a beach. Oh wait, I gotta explain this. We gotta have this guy shoot this little spot here to break it open so we can go down there. But yeah, between the 2 games, Rayman was actually found by a fisherman on a beach by the Sea of Lums, and he had no memory of the events of the first game. So yeah, and people from this world, we'll find out later, don't actually know where Rayman has come from. That's like something we find out from collecting enough yellow lums, but it doesn't actually ever tell us where he comes from, but we know because we've played Rayman 1 on this channel. So here we can climb this nasty spider web that hopefully we'll never run into one of the spiders that made these webs, right? Anyways, gotta avoid the barrels on the way down. Or these kegs, rather. They're powdered kegs. That was kinda unfair how they opened at the same time there. And we made it up and we can blast our way through this door. So, we can't make it through that door. We gotta hit the switch it showed us, which was guarded by a robot pirate. So, we gotta make our way around to there. Careful, there are lots of pirates in the area. There's a good chance you'll have to fight one. To move around during combat, Yeah, okay, he's talking about strafing, which we'll see in a second here. I target my enemy and I can strafe around, which makes it a lot easier to avoid his shots than shoot at him. So we'll just release a lot of punches that totally aren't punches at all. They're just energy balls, because that's how Rayman 2 works. And we defeat him and he drops some red lums. This door was not in the PlayStation 1 version. We got a sleeping pirate here, so let's grab this powdered keg. And throw our powdered keg at him, and we just defeat him instantly. But, the powdered kegs come out of this little hatch. We can also take this powdered keg over to this door, because that wasn't a normal patch on the door, that was a metal patch, which means we need some more force than just our fists. So if we head into here, it leads us to that other cage we saw earlier. So yeah, we have slightly over half the collectibles in this level, with 25 out of 50 lums and 4 out of 7 cages. I just went the wrong way. But yeah, like I said, we're not going to be able to get everything in this run through. I guess we'll just climb this grate here. Doesn't look like there's anything else. And we got some more lums we don't want to miss. We'll just hit that switch and bounce off of this, try to avoid the laser, but that switch opened this door here, which leads to more lasers, apparently. Which leads to our Mr. Pirate guy guarding the switch we were trying to get to. So just quick, defeat him easily, hit the switch, and we can go on our way further through the level. But I think we'll save that for next time. So I'm the Terminian Hero, and I'll see you then when we might find Lee. So I'll see you next time. I forgot he actually does that as his idle animation in the Dreamcast version of this game, among others. Not the PlayStation 1 version. I don't know all what versions he does that in. But that face was a move in Rayman 1 and Rayman 3, so it's nice to see it got an idle animation here. Alright, for real though, end of video, see you next time.